pushed me over the edge.
We spent 3 days together. It just felt like 3 eternities.
No, honestly.
This week.
No, this week for sure.
I don't know why.
This week for sure. So that's it.
Well, anyway.
It's time for Friday Cryday! Feels good to let it out.
I feel like if you didn't cry, I'd be concerned. You know, some people get upset when their friends cry. Like with you, if you didn't cry one week,
I mean,
that
would mean I'm very, very angry.
It's not good.
Or maybe that I'm just having a perfectly fine week.
I can't handle that.
Interesting.
Jess's tears win you a prize every single week. How do we
Yeah.
play the game, Jess?
So I tell you 2 stories that are a complete lie, and then 1 story that is true. And the game is that you have to guess which one is true. And my tears always win you something very fun. And you are getting tickets to Baltimore's biggest New Year's Eve party, the 13th annual Charm City Countdown.
Here we go. 3 stories. One of these is the real reason of why Jess cried this week. Story number 1.
Oh, story number 1. So on this particular day, I had a very, very long day, and I had just gotten home from working out. You know when you're just pushing yourself through the day?
Yep.
And my last...
Trying to get to the finish line.
My last task was working out, and I get home, and I park in my parking garage, and I'm like, okay, I just want to get upstairs. And then I realized that I forgot my jacket at the gym. And this is my North Face jacket that it's it's expensive, but also just the warmest jacket that I have that I need to survive because I get cold. I'm cold right now.
Yeah.
I'm always cold.
Yeah.
And it's also someone would take it. So the moment that I realized that I had to go back and get it, and I understand that's not a big deal, but when you want to when you're just over it,
done. You're done
I just
with the
cried.
day. I get it.
You know?
Okay, that's story number 1. Here's number 2.
So we had a couple days off this week because Kramer went to New York, and I was finishing up decorating my place for Christmas, and Garage Boy was at work, so I was by myself, and it was my time to finish decorating and watch all of my girly Christmas movies, right? So The Holiday, obviously. And then I put on The Family Stone. You remember that movie?
I never saw it.
There's a family, they go through drama, it's hilarious, and then someone,
Dies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I've seen this movie
Which character dies?
No.
Ruin it for it. I mean, the movie's 20 years old, for God's sake.
Okay, it's the mom. It's
The mom
Diane
dies?
Keaton. And it's Diane Keaton. I mean, come on.
All right.
So I've seen this movie 1,000 times, and I usually just shed a tear, at least.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Caught you off guard.
I'm sobbing at 8 a.m.
Story number 3.
Story number 3. So, when someone just keeps pushing you until you get so annoyed that you literally break down?
Yeah.
That happened to me this week. By you.
With me? Why?
Every single week, Kramer.
Why? About
every
what?
single week, Kramer's like,
What's wrong with you?
every week,
It's the
Kramer's
freaking
like,
holidays.
do you know what you're going to talk about for Friday Cryday yet? Have you cried this week
Oh
yet? Have
my
you cried this week yet? Have you
God.
cried this week yet? And I was like, and yesterday, clockwork, you're like, have you cried this week yet? Do you
Are
know what
you
you're going to talk about
serious?
tomorrow?
Okay,
and I was
hang
like,
the-
you know what? And I was
hang
like, you
the
know
frick
what?
on.
What if I don't feel like crying? What if I don't want to cry?
I knew
what
you
if
were
I
mad.
don't want to cry? And I was so mad that it made me cry.
We have to pre-plan this show a little bit, obviously, to know what's coming up. And I don't ever want to know what the stories are. But if there's something we can tease with it, we push out push notifications on the app.
But can you admit?
What?
Can you admit
What?
that every single week you're like, do you know
Did you
you're
cry?
gonna cry?
Did you cry yet?
Sometimes it's just you push me over the edge.
We spent 3 days together. It just felt like 3 eternities.
No, honestly,
this week.
no, this week for sure.
I don't know why.
This week for sure. So that's it.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
So what was the real cry this week? Was it story number 1 that had to do with the
jacket?
The jacket. Was it story 2 with Diane Keaton
The
dying?
Family Stone.
Or because I asked Jess what was coming up on
Because
the show?
Kramer is making me crazy.
Who's first?
First was Luis on line 1.
Hello, Luis.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. Do you think it's story number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Number 1.
Why'd you go with 1?
I just felt that was the story that was the truth, because sometimes you forget stuff and you
Yes.
just
No, absolutely, Luis. That wasn't the one that made me cry, but I was so upset that I definitely screamed in my car. So if someone was in the parking garage at that moment, definitely heard me scream. And not a very, very appropriate word, I may add.
Thank you,
Okay.
Luis. We appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you, Miss Luis.
See
All
ya.
right, bye-bye.
Who's next?
Donna on line 5.
Donna!
Hey, how you doing, honey?
God, I love Donna. Don, I feel like you and I are kindred spirits over here.
You know it's sweetie pie and ho, ho, ho to you guys.
Donna, 2 or 3?
I'm going to say 3.
Why story 3, Donna?
Well, because right this time of year, everything's stressful anyway, and then you got somebody being a hoser.
Thank you.
You know, you're going to break down.
Thank
It's
you,
just-
Donna.
And plus, us women, we don't need a reason to break down. We
Thank
take so
you.
much crap, we'll do it at any time.
Donna, thank
Donna, you know what's so funny about this week is, I was up in New York on Monday, Tuesday, right? So
know.
Jess and I literally only spent 3 days together this
This
week.
was our toughest week.
I don't know why. We've just been
we
at each
only
other's
had 3
throats. I don't know
days.
why.
Donna, that didn't make me break down into tears, but girl, I was PO'd. I was so mad yesterday. I was like, can you stop talking to me?
It's been a rough week, Donna. Donna, you have the best weekend ever. It's good hearing from you.
You too, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye
Bye.
now. All right, one person left. It's who?
Amy on line 2 from Parkton.
Hello, Amy.
Hello.
There's only
How
one
are you guys
option.
today?
Oh, we're we're ready to go. To be honest with you, like we've had enough of each other. Is it story? Oh, there's only one left. Your guess
Well,
is
it's
what?
obviously number 2 because everybody else already said numbers 1 and 3.
Is that
But
the
I
only
think it's
reason?
number 2 personally because there are commercials this year that have made me cry when I wasn't even emotional to begin with.
So it's already kind of an emotional season.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what could catch you emotionally off guard.
Right.
Which is what Jess was possibly getting herself into.
And that was it.
And if you're getting goosebumps already from the music, you're probably going to cry.
Absolutely. I've seen The Family Stone, honestly, 1,000 times. And for some reason, I was sobbing.
It happens to me on Home Alone every time.
Home Alone. What part of Home Alone makes you cry?
When she comes home and they're hugging at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, that does get kind of emotional.
Yes.
Well, we learned a couple different things. We learned the ending to Family Stone.
If you haven't seen it, you need to see the movie. It's honestly fantastic.
I'm going to have to watch that. I love Diane Keaton, and I've never seen it.